View Crew! What is up, everybody? I just blew everyone's eardrums because we are back.
Eardrums, voice cracked, whole.
It is 2022, and we've had too much time off, and we are excited to be back here on POV for a brand new year as we adventure into Season 9 of the movie trivia Schmoedown. We have a lot to talk about tonight. Obviously, everyone knows, if you've been paying attention to social media, if you're a Schmoedown Patreon member, the official nominations for the 2022 Schmoedown Awards are out there. We will be discussing those a little bit later on.
Didn't know
so hang tight as much as you can, because the majority and chunk of the show is going to be dedicated to the outlaw himself, Mr. John Rocha. He will be with us here very, very shortly, and we're going to talk to him about his legacy that he has left behind in the Schmoedown now that his hat is officially hung up for the foreseeable future. Anyone, you never know what's going to happen. But before we get to all that, Jill, Brian, how you guys doing? It's a brand new year. We haven't been on the air in a while. How was New Year's? How's life? How's everything going?
Going good. I go back to work tomorrow, which is a bummer.
I went to work today, so you know.
I'm sorry.
So did I.
But, this weekend was nice. It was chill. We celebrated UK New Year, so I got together with my mom and my uncle and our family. She was born in England, so we celebrated UK New Year. We celebrated from like noon to 4:30 for when it was New Year in England, and my mom hired a bagpiper, and she surprised us with that, and we had a lot of Guinness and shepherd's pie, and it was wonderful. And then for actual New Year's, I did Jack-ish, and it was great. We sat on the couch, and we watched Cobra Kai. Great way to spend a New Year.
Great way to bring the new year.
Great way to spend a New Year.
Great way to bring the new year.
So, cheers. So, yeah. We were watching the All Valley tournament on a midnight.
Yeah, I did absolutely nothing for New Year's. It was brilliant. We were with our good friends Dylan and Bree, and we ordered some sushi. We hung out and played a bunch of games.
Sounds fun.
All I cared about. Like, I didn't care about going out or really. I mean, we stayed up till as long as we needed to. And then went to bed.
12:01.
Well, no, so because we went to their house, and their house is from where we are. It's about 45 minutes away. But crazy story, not really that crazy. But before I get to you, Brian, we're on our way back, and you're expecting like 12:30. Oh, freeways aren't going to be that closed. We were at a dead stop for 40 minutes because a car flipped over on the freeway.
Happy New Year!
Yeah, right before the exposition exit, Brian, off of 80, right there.
That's a good spot.
Yeah, right around that corner.
Yikes.
Fire trucks, ambulances, everything. And so we didn't get home till 2 a.m. that night.
Oh God.
Which was brutal. Knowing us, we're like falling asleep. You know,
I was up until like
tired,
3 on New Year's.
Well, that's like 4 hours past my bedtime, so I'm sorry.
I get you. No, I feel it.
That's just me. But Brian, how you doing, man? New Year's, like how's your life right now?
I mean, I did nothing. I literally sat home. I think I watched a movie, and that was pretty much it.
I love how we're just all sacks of lazy potatoes. Like, we're just like...
I did absolutely
nothing.
nothing. I never do anything for New Year's. It's usually spent sitting on the couch playing... no, I played video games that pretty much the whole time.
I cleaned today. That was my productivity. Like, I deep cleaned. Like, on my hands and knees in the bathtub, scrubbing and like Comet and like all that fun stuff. I did that today. So
no thanks. Yeah,
that was my contribution into a normal society.
I did absolutely nothing. What else have I been doing? I rewatched Black Widow for the first time since it came out. It actually wasn't that bad.
I watched it last week too.
I need to do that. I enjoyed Black Widow.
I think
I loved it.
I like it more now that I have more of Yelena. I think that made me love it a little bit more.
If the MCU is nothing but Yelena, I am thrilled. Like, I am not mad.
No. Nothing but Yelena and Kate Bishop.
Yeah. I need a Yelena and Kate buddy cop movie.
That's all I need in life right now.
There needs to be a Hawkeye and the Black Widow movie, and it needs to be those two called Hawkeye and the Black Widow.
I wouldn't like that just because it wouldn't be Hawkeye and Black Widow. Like, that's the movie that we always wanted was Hawkeye and Clint, you know?
It's funny though, because I still left going like, how did they not do Budapest? Like,
well, they did, but didn't.
It's a cop out. It was a cop out. Anyways, Yeah, I've been rewatching comic movies lately. I don't know.
I rewatched Shang-Chi, and that was an absolute blast.
God, that movie is just top tier. That's my next one. I kind of going through MCU, and then I'm going to go through DC movies next, I think.
Oh, good luck. Have fun.
I'll start probably with Birds of Prey, honestly.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. The one good one.
I know I'm not supposed to bring this up, but I'm actually kind of excited to rewatch. I've only watched it the one time because it's 4 hours long. Is the
Snyder cut?
I only watched it the one time.
I still haven't seen it.
I didn't hate it, and so I'm gonna rewatch it again at some point. When
I'm sure Billy's about to explode in the comments. So
sorry, Billy.
Probably. I need like 4 days though, an hour a day. Make it through. Oh, Gordon, you have the second that movie drops.
Is Eternals on Disney Plus next
January 10th?
Okay, good. Because I still haven't seen Eternals. And
the second Eternals drop. Well, maybe not the second. After work the next day, I'm watching that, rewatching that.
Yeah, that's the one I haven't seen. I still need to. I can watch it from the comfort of my living room couch. Party.
I'm excited. Yeah, movies. It's all about staying warm though right now because it is freezing in Northern California. Freezing.
It's been cold down here too. People are like, it's snowing where we're at, and I'm like,
it's cold in Southern California. It's 65 degrees today.
It was raining for like 2 weeks straight, and like us Californians, we don't know what to do when that happens. So
No.
Southern California.
Southern Californians don't know what to do when that happens.
Okay. Sorry. Southern Californians don't know what to do in the rain. So
Tim,
we're spoiled because Brian and I it's 2 hours Tahoe that way, 2 hours Bay Area that way.
So we're the same. I can drive 45 minutes and be at the beach, and I can drive 2 hours and be in Big Bear. Like
exactly.
It's the same here.
Exactly.
Tim, you saying it's 41? I have a friend in Dallas, and they were like, it's 89 degrees here, and I was like, what? So I don't know what's going on in Texas.
What is happening?
Yeah.
All right. Well, before we bring the Outlaw into the show and sit down and talk with him about his legendary Schmoedown career here, I just want to make sure that everyone knows that Super Chats and Streamlabs are available for John. They are open if you guys have a question or comment for him. That guarantees you an answer because chat sometimes we skip some stuff and we miss it. You guys can send that in. It should be posted pinned in the comments, I believe. And then also, just because we're going to be talking about it later, the voting for the awards are actually available now. And the way you can do that is actually become a Schmoedown Patreon member. That is the only way that you'll be able to vote. Any tier will allow you access to vote for those awards for any of those special achievements that are going to be coming up here very, very soon.
Can I just say really quickly, hello to Adrian, our newest patron.
Hello.
I have no idea what 5 degrees Celsius is because they don't teach us Celsius in
don't know what that means.
So
I'm assuming that's cold.
To me, that's a slightly average day. I'm guessing maybe
it was hailing in Leeds today. That's all I know. So I'm assuming it's cold.
Yeah, sorry.
No, you're fine. Lastly, I just wanted to mention, you obviously don't see her on screen, but Molly wasn't able to make it tonight. And so that's why she is on here. She's not going to be able to pop in at any point tonight. So it'll just be us three holding down the fort while the Outlaw explodes here on screen here in just a second. So let's go and get to this. Let's talk to one of the absolute goats of this league, someone who has blazed trails for many, many years in this league, and that is the Outlaw himself, Mr. John Rocha.
Damn right.
I know. I like how you said one of the goats. And if he stands up, it might be a little bit different.
It's the goat, motherfucker.
There you go.
Everybody.
I'm like, he has a belt to prove it now.
I know.
It's right there. It's right
I
there.
see it. That's cool. I love that place.
Hey, at least I said it. You know, I didn't have to say that he's one of the goats.
You got a nice little layout there, sir.
Thank you.
I know. It's very nice.
Yeah, I've been working on it progressively over the last year or so, and there's more to come for sure. So I'm very fortunate to still be doing this thing and to have enough people come aboard my channel to help me afford to kind of upgrade when I can. So yeah, I'm very lucky. How are you all?
Nation we're great. Yeah, Outlaw Nation is a strong group you have there, and I thought you having members of like your group and your Patreon escorting you out in the masks was magical. That was so freaking cool to see. I loved that.
Yeah, well, what a gift it was. I mean, Christian said, let's set up a really good entrance for you. Who do you want? And I'm like, well, I've got 4 patrons who are flying in. That's one awesome. From Canada.
Ryko.
Ryko, yes. And I've got 4 of my faction mates who wanted to be a part of it. So being able to have a mixture of both, because they've been so essential to my existence in 2021, that I thought it was a great way to have them be involved, and they were great to get masks. The Schmoedown people were over there at Skybound. They were really great to get the masks, and we were able to do it. And so it was awesome to have that kind of entrance. I would have liked it to have been in Brooklyn, but you take it where you can get it, and it was just my time. But it was nice. It was a lot of fun.
It was really cool. It was an amazing entrance. It was a great way to go out for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah. You obviously couldn't see it or hear it, but in the upstairs, Winston had one on, and he was slightly
inebriated.
That doesn't sound like Winston at all.
No.
Never gets.
And he was going. He was going off with the mask. It was hilarious.
Pretty great.
Oh,
yeah,
good.
Winston's the best. He's so good.
John, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
It's an honor to have you back on the show. And I know it comes after the whole Schmoedown thing has ended and everything, but we're excited to kind of dive into it over the past 7 years and 7 seasons that you've taken part in this. Before we get to all that, how was Christmas? How was New Year's? How's everything going on your end? Everything good?
Yeah, it was good. We got to go home. Haven't seen my mom in 3 years because of COVID and all of that. So being able to get to, and right as Omicron was surging, I felt like the Lady Outlaw and I were like in World War Z, just running away from all the zombies, trying to climb over the walls and jump into the helicopter before that stuff caught up to us. But very uneventful. Everyone on the plane wearing masks. No one causing a scene. It was very chill. We had a layover in Atlanta. The people were very nice to let us get through and everything like that. And we got to upgrade on the way back because I had enough miles. So it was, I hadn't used the miles in forever. I didn't know they were still in the account. So I was like, oh, great. I'll upgrade us to Comfort Plus. Why not? Yeah. Take care of my lady. But we got to sit in exit rows. There was a lot of leg space, and I got to watch a couple of really cool movies. Old Henry and the Card Counter, the Oscar Isaac one, is really good. And Old Henry is an awesome Western with Tim Blake Nelson that came out last year that I would highly recommend anybody watch. So just a good time overall. Seeing my family was nice. I mean, the mom's is a bit older. Mama Outlaw is a little older, and it was tough to see, but, you know, it was nice to see my nephew and my niece and my sister, who I hadn't seen in 3 years as well. So, and New Year's was fun. I mean, you know, we just sat and watched the challenge. We just discovered the challenge, which we never know. I mean, we had no idea what this was. So we're just like, we're on Paramount Plus because she loves to watch the RuPaul shows there. And we're flipping around. She doesn't. She won't stop saying Queen of the Universe.
Molly got me RuPaul Drag Race candles.
That's awesome. And yeah, so we were just flipping around on Paramount Plus, and it was like this challenge All Stars. What is this? And I said, I think it's a competition. Do you want to watch this? And she's like, yeah, let's put it on. And so we just finished watching the second season up to the 8th episode because there's still 2 episodes to go. Couldn't believe how engrossing this was, and then finding out there are 37 other seasons. We're set up for 2022. Let me just say right now, so we are good to go.
They're so good. Some of the originals are the best. Hold up.
I'm an obsessor, and it's funny. I just found out this year that Ace Cabrera is also an obsessor as well. And him and I, we message after each episode, like geek, like full on geek out about everything that happened. So that's cool that you found it. That's really, really cool.
So it's been a nice thing to jump into, but then back at it, back at the grind today, recording my Cobra Kai review. Going to record 3 other things tomorrow, so the grind doesn't end. So
that's awesome.
I feel like you would not be able to survive without doing something.
It's true.
Am I right? Yeah.
I pulled some shady shit when I was home for Christmas because, like, if you notice, I still kept generating content from the hotel room. I did my spoiler review with Jeff Snyder for The Matrix Revolutions. I did some trailer reactions and all of that. I couldn't bring my camera on the plane or anything like that. I didn't want to take a chance or anything like that. So I just went to Best Buy and bought a 4K Logitech camera and a mic, and then returned it at the end of the week because they said you could return it. So I just kind of made sure I kept it really packaged well, didn't break anything, and then put it back in and said, you know what? My nephew didn't like the camera, so I'm going to return it. So
You're
you're right. I
absolute
can't stop
genius.
working.
But
Well,
I mean, it's not working if you enjoy it.
Right,
Just
exactly.
respect.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
clearly, yeah. I mean, the amount of stuff you're putting out and the quality, you're
Thank you.
enjoying it.
Yeah, I am for sure.
Well, I mean, there is one thing that is not on your shoulders anymore, and as much as you probably do miss it, that is the actual movie trivia Schmoedown, and you put in 7 glorious seasons into this crazy, wild community that we're all a part of that has grown so much over the last number of years.
Yeah.
I just want to start off by asking: Are you happy with everything that you've been able to accomplish inside this league? Whether it was the wins, the losses, the team ups. Everything that's kind of gone over the past 7 seasons, are you satisfied with everything that you've been able to give to this?
I don't know any competitor that would be 100% satisfied. That's kind of what makes us competitors, unfortunately, is this desire that you could have done more. You could have left a little bit more on the table. But that being said, 4 titles, that's a very tough thing for people to touch. And so I feel very proud about that. Finally actually got to defend one. And when we lost our tag team titles to Corruption, we fought them all the way to the end. So, I mean, like, it wasn't something that I was ashamed of. So, yeah, I mean, I think I've left a lot of memories, a huge legacy in the game, and everything I could have possibly wanted to accomplish, I accomplished. I would have liked to have had the belt on my shoulder one more time. Ben and I went all the way to 5th round of sudden death. So I was fighting my heart out, and in the end, it just didn't work out. I just didn't get the question that I knew that he didn't know, and that's the luck of the draw sometimes. And then in the tag team thing, I answered all those questions right. Unfortunately, JTE not saying Frozen 2, that was the difference. We would have won by a point. So it's just the game sometimes, or I think we would have been tied going into sudden death. It's just the game and the way it goes down. You just never know how it's going to surprise you, and you never know what's going to pop up no matter how much you study. So, starting out with 3 TKOs in 2021, though, wasn't a negative. It reaffirmed that, I'm not someone who's past it. It just didn't 100% work out for me to wear a belt one more time. So, yeah. But other than that, I think I had a really phenomenal run and enjoyed my time for the most part in the game, and left a lot of memories, and had a number of people come up to me at Schmoedown Spectacular. A lot of the new players come up and say how much they are sad that I'm leaving, and that, how much I influenced them to watch or get into the Schmoedown. And Chance, true to form, was like, "I'm mad you're leaving before I get a chance to play you." Yeah, sucker.
Sounds like Chance.
Yeah.
Sounds like Chance.
I was like, sucker. So yeah, I mean, that's the game. And but yeah, I mean, now with this much distance, it's been almost a month, I guess, officially. Yeah, it's nice to be relaxed about it now, and it's nice to kind of not have all the emotion and the drama around it. But yeah, I hope people feel I left a hell of a legacy in the game.
I know I did.
Yeah, I mean, you could see it. We were behind you at the expo, and you never had a dull moment that whole entire time.
I don't think your line was ever less than like 12 people. Like, it was just consistently long.
Yeah. I mean, but that also goes to show how much and how beloved you are, that everyone wanted to make sure they at least got to say goodbye to you before the whole thing was over.
Yeah, I mean, there were so many incredible words from the fans. And I felt sad that I got TKO because I didn't give them a great final match that went all the way to the end. I felt guilty about that for a while, but we've kind of put that to bed now. But the time of the expo was great, meeting all these people and having them tell me how much, and it's a very humbling experience. I know a lot of people think that the Outlaw is John Rocha. There are elements, certainly, but I'm very humbled by anybody's words, any of the fans' words coming in and telling me that anything I did influenced them or motivated them. I mean, some of those messages I've gotten over the 7 seasons of people who are like, "You got me through depression. You got me through some dark times. Seeing you bounce back, seeing you fight back time after time, no matter how devastating the loss is, really inspired me. Seeing you start your own thing and succeed doing your own thing inspired me." So all those things are gifts of the game that I had no idea would be part of being a part of this game. I was just so focused on winning matches. I didn't know that my journey would resonate with some people and would really affect them in their real lives, and that kind of always moved me and humbled me. And certainly I had a lot of those messages from those people there at the expo from all over the world. Kind of crazy.
That's so cool.
Yeah, very lucky.
I think for me, like Jake's been watching since the get-go. Jill, been watching what?
I think since season 5.
Yeah, I'm around there too, and I remember being like, God, I hate this guy. like, and
that's kind of the point, though.
Yeah, that was exactly then, especially
exactly. And your character work was just so good all the time that, like,
thank you.
That's what I believed you were like 24/7, and then you would come to know you, and it's like, oh, that's not how he is. But I mean, how do you feel? I mean, you kind of, in a way, are like the originator of the character. Like
100%.
how
he is.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah,
so
to be fair, Finstock is Finstock, and he was there.
Okay,
right. I don't know if that's a character.
That's just Tom.
I'll never give him credit. So no, you're the original.
Tom is a character in himself. That's just Tom.
Yeah.
He's an enigma. But yeah, how does it feel like? I mean, you changed the game by doing that. Like we have people that's their whole shtick is like the character. How does it feel to kind of like be the originator of that, though?
Well, like I said, I mean, I'm the kind of person that, like, it's very nice to get compliments and it means a lot. But in my mind, I did what came naturally to me. So although this was a concerted effort to create a character, it was also something that was very natural as a fan of professional wrestling, and getting the chance to kind of, in a low-key way, pursue my dreams of being in professional wrestling through the movie Trivia Schmoedown. I was very fortunate that Christian Harloff and I worked in tandem together to kind of create the opportunities for me to shine, and I was very lucky. He would just give me the mic, give me 3 or 4 directions, and I'd go from there. Some of the players really weren't wrestling people and were very unsettled by it and thought, like you did, that I was that.
I 100% bought into it.
Yeah.
Not even an ounce.
Yeah. A lot of people did, brother. And that was something that I had to navigate in the real world of movie punditry and whatever, and have to kind of make clear that wasn't me. So, but being able to do that and build the character and get those moments and those, working with Emma, working with Jen Sturger, working with Grace, working with all the people who were asking me questions afterwards, Makuga way back in the first couple of seasons, and then getting to work with them back and forth on the promos. I mean, Mance and I is just classic stuff, and as Dan came along, going back and forth with him was great. And so just all those things for the people who were like, who understood what I was doing, it was a blast to be able to go back and forth with them, like Sam Levine or like Riley eventually. It was really cool. So to be able to create that character and have people be respectful enough to create space to let me act the fool, act the outlaw, it really meant a lot. So yeah.
That's awesome.
I love how, like what Brian said, you convinced so many people that you were just this huge a-hole. like even I'll say, even when Sean and I went our first times in studios, like I walked in, I was like, oh, that's John Rocha. And I was very hesitant to just be like, hi, because I was like, please don't yell at me. Like, please be nice. But you're a very respectful gentleman in person, and I am very happy I had the pleasure to know you in passing and say hi to you backstage. And it's gonna be a little weird not having you there. I'm gonna admit it's gonna be a little weird not having you in the Schmoedown this coming season.
Well, yes, maybe, but I also think there are so many great new players, so many great players that have been around for a few years that are finding their stride in the game, and I think there's going to be some great new memories and great new matches that people are going to go crazy about. And, I think there will be enough to fill whatever void might be there with me initially. But, but I appreciate you saying that. It's very kind. And I love it. So, yeah.
Of course. And is there we have gotten so many new we have had so much new talent just this past season, these past 2 seasons. I need that you have your eye on, that you're excited to see grow and develop throughout these next couple seasons.
Everyone on your team.
All of us in Stock Exchange.
Well, I mean, that was the goal, and we had a 10-point lead going into that spectacular, you know.
Crazy.
So our plan almost was this close to fruition. We're the 18-1 Patriots. That's who we are, you know. And so it's just like we were so close to completing the goal and doing all the things. I mean, we were like Hoosiers, but he misses the last shot. We were that close to being that because nobody thought we had a shot except us and except Craig. You know, I mean, it was incredible to watch Craig work the guys and girls in the crew, and then also have me and JT and Tom come in with any kinds of advice. It was incredible. And to see how they blew. I mean, Griffin was already ready-made. He just needed to understand the game a little bit. Yeah. But Khan, seeing the progression of Khan in the team's division, seeing how Gold Leader kind of came out guns blazing in the Star Wars division, seeing Rager and Brother Lomas really kind of own the character side of things, and Rager winning matches as well. It was great to see all Moose coming in and doing his. Moose has been immeasurable. And Taylor, of course, is a second-year player, technically a second-year player. Taylor coming in, easily sliding in with the guys, taking no shit and giving all kinds of shit.
Oh yeah. She'll dish it right back.
Exactly. Taylor's no slouch, you know. No. And so that's why when people called us the boys club, I always got mad because I'm like, you haven't fucked with Taylor, man. Taylor will lose it. It may be a bunch of dudes, but it's Taylor holding court. People don't understand that. So yeah, all the crew there, it's been great to watch and see their progression and their growth, and very proud to have been a part of it and to have guided it along. But I mean, the Boston Badass Paige that's my girl, man. I love Paige to pieces, and I do nothing but cheer for Paige. So great to see her in person, meet her for the first time at Spectacular in person. I'm such a fan of what she is doing for sure. Thomas Harper, we had a fun back and forth on Twitter, and then we were on the Ultimate Schmoedown after show having a fun conversation and comparing notes about how our significant others told us to calm it down on Twitter. So it was great. So, I mean, you know, there's so many great people that I'm enjoying watching. And now that I'm not like invested and have a dog in the hunt or a horse in the race, I can sit back and watch again and just enjoy the matches and enjoy the stuff and be like, see how I would still do in the matches and all of that. So yeah, those are the people that I'm looking at right now. And I think Peggy will find her way back again. I think Peggy's got something to prove. You can tell she hates the losses. So it's like, how are you going to do with that going into your second season? So all of that. And I think there's some FCL people who are going to jump up. Someone who's got my last name might be sliding into my name as his last name might be sliding into the main division at some point, Kofi Outlaw. So who knows? There's a lot of great young talent in the FCL and in the top leagues as well. The top league as well. 100%. I don't care what Christian says. It's the top league, and then there's FCL. You can kiss my ass. I don't care. I know you got it. I know you own it, so you got to play it a certain way. Bullshit. This is not fucking NXT is the same as Raw or SmackDown. It isn't. Okay, it isn't. So cut it out. Cut it out.
No, man.
All right, fair enough.
Gilmore, cut it out.
All right, we do have a couple Streamlabs that have come through. I want to make sure I get to them before I have a question here. And first one comes from Adrian. Okay. And he says, "Hi guys, thanks for welcoming me into your community. It's been excellent. Rocha, it was your championship match with Mark Riley that got me interested in this juggernaut known as the Schmoedown. Enjoy retirement, my friend Adrian Bailey from the UK."
Respect, Adrian. Good to see you up this late.
I know.
It's right.
2:30. It's almost 3 o'clock in the morning.
And the next one comes from Canada Rocks himself, Ryko. He says, "Enjoy your retirement, old man. You deserve it. I won't deny it. I'm going to miss you playing. It was always a blast. And thanks again for letting me be a part of your entrance. Live long and prosper."
Yeah, he was great. I mean, that gray beard of his, speaking of old man, was sticking out from the mask, messing everything.
That's how we knew. That's how we knew it was Ryko. We're like, there he is.
I like when I look younger than the guy and he calls me old. That's my favorite thing.
Jake, there was a super chat too. I don't know if you.
I'm gonna get to it here in a sec, but I wanted to ask John because there's so many memories and things that kind of come back through 7 seasons of playing in the Schmoedown.
Yeah.
Is there one that, like, say someone were to ask you, hey, like, what is the fondest memory you have of this? Whether it be a match, relationship, certain moment, is there something that really does stand out through those 7 seasons?
I mean, obviously, and I hate to bring this up for Dan, but like obviously winning the belt is but I will say the honest truth. Orlando was a really important night
when you guys beat Corruption, right?
Yeah, when we beat Corruption.
I've never heard a bad thing said about the Orlando show.
Me neither.
Yeah,
everyone loves that show.
It was such a good show. They did such a great job. They welcomed us with open arms, and we had it's the best green room I've ever been in any of these live events, and it was so much fun.
Hint, Christian.
Yeah, right. Yeah, please. No more Globe. There was still, God knows what stains were on those couches from 30 years ago. I think there was a Motley Crue concert there once. So
I know we had one of the couches. We were like,
the velvet couch.
Why do you think I went back to the hotel room in between matches? But Orlando for so many reasons. Because I mean, I flew in that day. I was like worried if we were going to do it. I didn't want to lose yet again to another team 3 times in a row like I did with the Patriots. And so I was nervous, and I'd studied pretty hard. And I remember I was sitting eating Taco Bell on the bed, talking to my lady Outlaw, asking her like, "Hey, I don't know if you got a shot." And it was one of those first experiences that she had where she realized how important this really was to me. And she was really great. We're still kind of new in our relationship at the time. And so she kind of navigated that with me. And then, kind of driving or getting Ubered to the place, and then sitting there with Dan and seeing Dan's focus, like in Dan's just complete and utter belief in us. And he wasn't going to let it happen that we were going to break up. He wasn't going to let it happen that was going to be my last ride with him. He wasn't going to let it happen. And that energy came into me. That energy I took from him. I had a couple of drinks with a little Red Bull. And then we met some of the fans, and someone had a shirt done that was the founding fathers with like Jefferson and Franklin and Rocha and Merle. It was awesome.
That's awesome.
I wish we had made that shirt for God's sakes.
That's awesome.
And then sitting, and then all of a sudden, as I was walking out there, I was ready. I mean, I saw Chance's tweet about him laying out his clothes and shit, like his mom getting him ready for school. And it just got me all hyped up. And then when we walked to hear the chants in Orlando for me and Dan, that was incredible. I mean, the first live event was an awesome experience to know that those people really loved what I was doing, because the YouTube comments were tearing me to pieces. But those people showed me that that there are people who really care about the Outlaw. And then coming here to this live event with Dan, hearing them go crazy just blew me away. So I was just caught up in that and cut my promo on Chance, which was great. And then had the idea to take the pictures and whatever with Mike while he was cutting his. Like, I just felt so confident that night. It was the height of the Outlaw. I knew we weren't going to lose. I was laser focused. And by the end, when Dan actually touched my arm, he's like, "We got this." And then Mark's like, "You can't talk to your partner." And I was like, "Just answer the question." And he says to me, that moment was such an explosion. And because Christian knows this and everyone knows this, I was going to retire if I'd lost. He was going to have me play some other angle, but I was totally going to retire. I love my brother, but I walk my own path, whether he likes it or not. I walk my own path. And that night I had made the decision that if I lost, I was going to retire, because enough was enough for me. But winning the belt and giving Dan a title, and it was a tag team title, which Riley hasn't been able to do, which Bateman wasn't able to do this year. To me, it meant something to give something to Dan's legacy, because that is who I measure myself by. There's no one else I measure myself by other than Dan Merle. And so to be able to be part of his legacy and create our legacy as champions meant so much to me. So that's the night. That's really the number one night of all nights for me as a competitor.
That's a good
memory. You were brave eating Taco Bell the night before a live show. I will say that.
Please.
That's brave.
Good.
We love Taco Bell here. So
yeah.
We're a Taco Bell friendly show.
Brian, we had it the night before Spectacular.
Well, I wasn't on a stage. He was.
Fair. All right, so we do have 2 more messages that have come through. First one is a super chat from Dots and Hots here. Just want to say Happy New Year's, guys. Thanks for the content, and cheers to the Outlaw for his knowledge, integrity, passion, emotion, and overall presence. GOAT.
Thank you very much.
And the next one comes from Farrell, and he says, first off, RIP John Madden and Betty White.
Yeah.
yeah, that was sad week for both those two. And then he also says, "Congrats, John, for the Yodi Award. Voted for FinSock Exchange in the nominations too. Too bad Brother Lomas wasn't named there for Rookie of the Year. My favorite Western is Unforgiven. What are some of your favorite Westerns?"
Oh my God, that's a great question.
It's a list probably like this long.
I mean, serious.
Let me pull out my list.
Yeah, right. I've got yeah, exactly. I mean, and there's a possibility where I might be starting a new show on my channel called Westerns Wednesdays, where I just kind of talk about one Western every week.
You should, because there's nothing like that, I don't think, on YouTube.
I don't think so.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
could be kind of fun.
That's a good idea.
Get to wear the hat and everything, Julian. So that'd be kind of fun.
Perfect. Anything to wear the hat. Anything to wear the hat.
But yeah, I mean, The Searchers, that's my number one Western. Then you go into The Wild Bunch. You go into a lot of the Sam Peckinpah, Ride the High Country. That's a really good one as well. Then you go into Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid. Those are great Westerns. Unforgiven, I mean, you're talking Clint Eastwood. You might as well just look at the whole lexicon, his Man with No Name trilogy. But then also don't forget about Outlaw Josie Wales, Hang 'em High. You're jumping over to Pale Rider, which is a damn good 80s Western as well. I love Open Range, the Kevin Costner Western with Robert Duvall. If you haven't seen that damn thing is a masterpiece in terms of Westerns. And so there are so many that I've enjoyed over the years. Like I said, I just saw the Old Henry, which is really good, and just revisited the book that PJ gave me, High Noon, a book about High Noon. That's awesome. My Darling Clementine, which is a really great John Ford Western with Henry Fonda as Wyatt Earp. And what did I just watched something? Oh, I just got The Gunfighter with Gregory Peck, which is an awesome Western as well. That's on Criterion. So yeah, I mean, there's so many fantastic Westerns. I mean, A Man Called a Horse, Little Big Man. I mean, I can start listing them. And some people even say No Country for Old Men is a Western, which is an interesting thing for me to consider.
I mean,
it's like a modern take on it. It's like a modern take.
Yeah.
I like the idea of Western Wednesday. That's really, really cool.
I was gonna say the chat is loving the idea of a Western Wednesdays.
Sure. Yeah, Once Upon a Time in the West, Justin. Absolutely. Good stuff.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
I like this Western Wednesdays.
I like to put Logan in that category too.
Yeah, Logan is a Western.
You could argue. I could totally.
Ryan, did you only mention that because he missed the buzzer question on Logan?
No, because I saw the poster in the background and it reminded me.
There is a poster.
I know. But notice I cover up the cast, so I couldn't remember the cast.
Jill, you want to continue this?
I do. I do. So you are still the only competitor to have a documentary about them that was released, which is a pretty freaking cool thing to have. Is there somebody who you would also like to have a documentary about? Or are you just happy just saying, I'm the only person in Schmoedown who has a documentary?
Well, listen, there's an interesting element to your question. First of all, The Trial of JT is the first official documentary.
It is.
I give it up to my brother who I loved playing with in 2021. And it's sad we won't get to do it again because I thought we were a damn good team. And a team of two Latinos, which really means a lot to me as well. So, but no, it was great to have that documentary, but I think the documentary was tied into the birth of the Schmoedown. So it wasn't a singular, only the Outlaw documentary. And I think there's one that needs to be made where we interview Nost, we interview all the people who've been around. By the way, shout out to Matt, who showed up for the first time.
That was so cool.
Such a long time.
Really cool.
It meant the world to me that he showed up. As I gave him a big old hug. We're not touchy-feely guys with each other, so it was nice to get that hug with him for sure. But yeah, I mean, I think there's a documentary that could be made down the road with more, which is just more outlaw focused, and I'd love that down the road. But Dan Murrell is the obvious choice. I mean, Dan has accomplished so much in this game, and he's done it, quietly. He hasn't needed to put the spotlight on him. And I think seeing the growth of Dan Murrell from the beginning here, where he was playing everybody, and then seeing him have to adapt to the promo work that people were doing and change and get better at that, and then seeing him come back from the devastating loss to Andrew Guy out of retirement and have to fight all the way back to become the title holder, to defend it, to win the tag team belts with me, all of that stuff. I think there's so much to explore there. And Christian, who loves corruption like nobody's business, already did a 5-part episode series on them, so they don't need another documentary because the boss is there. He's their favorite faction for sure. And so, you know, I think Dan Murrell is the one who, and if there wasn't a corruption documentary, I would absolutely say a corruption documentary would be great, just because Shannon Barney coming in and in 2 years, absolutely taking these crew of misfits all the way to a faction title 2 years in a row. She deserves an incredible amount of credit, and guiding Marisol to the title, the first female singles champion we've had, and having her defend it twice at 2 live events against 2 incredible competitors. She deserves an incredible amount of credit. Both Marisol and Shannon do for that. So that would be my 2 that I would nominate for documentaries. Yeah.
I love that. Now I need the full-on John Rocha only documentary.
Yes, and so do I.
Let's do it. Okay, let's do it.
Release the Rocha cut.
Yeah.
Release the Rocha cut.
Release the Rocha cut.
Release the Rocha
You want to piss
cut.
Christian off? Start that off.
Don't tempt our
Pissing off Christian is our favorite it's our favorite pastime.
Our fans will blow up social media.
Yeah, they will do it.
Brian, you got anything for John?
Yeah, so I want to hit spectacular. I mean, obviously didn't go how you wanted, but arguably, I mean, I'm not going to even say arguably. It was the most fun match. Like, I don't think anyone really cared who won by the end of it. It was just so fun seeing Dan be kind of just jokey fun. Yeah. You are just sitting there clearly absorbing every ounce that you could possibly take away from it. Yeah. How, obviously, other than the result, how did that feel? Because, I mean, it seemed a couple times like you were just literally like in awe almost of just everything.
You know, I've been able to handle just about anything that's been thrown at me in this game, live or not live. And we've always played live in some form or another. There's always been a studio audience for our matches. So for me, I did not anticipate what it was. I mean, look, I live in San Diego at a house with the Lady Outlaw. We both work from home, so we rarely go out. So to go to a theater like this and have all these people here and see all the competitors and all that energy and stuff, it just was a weird, wonky day overall. But the Schmoedown Expo, talking to the fans, was great, and walking out into the arena was incredible, and walking out with my patrons, so all of that was definitely awesome. But I'm not gonna lie, and people who are watching, this is the truth, I had like 5 panic attacks that day. It was an overwhelming day because you're walking away from something you built, and I don't think I'm being a cocky asshole by saying that, but something that I had a huge part in building. And what does it mean now afterwards? Are people going to unsubscribe from my YouTube channel? There's all those natural fears that you have, that this is the only thing. And I hadn't confronted that, I guess, until that it didn't become real to me until that day. Yeah. And I think I wasn't prepared for the overwhelming panic attacks that I was feeling as I was going and negotiating through the day. And so that's why we took off back to the hotel. I was trying to meditate and calm down and do whatever. And the Lady Outlaw, who's an introvert, she needed to nap from all the explosion of everybody. So she slept for an hour and a half.
I understand that. I feel that. Yeah.
So, you know, and so it was interesting. But when we came back, you know, I wish I'd had a little more time to just kind of savor everything. But walking out, it was overwhelming. And yeah, I mean, my mind was so gone half the time. It was really hard to concentrate, and it was really hard to hear as well.
Yeah.
And, you know, Dan and I think if this had been a real match, like for real points and a possible belt, or like, I know it was for a belt, but like for an actual like history belt, I would have challenged on Places of the Heart. I mean, there's no other movie. So I would have won that challenge, gotten 2 points. And I said Game of Death over and over again, but my mind just kind of was like, hey, maybe it's this. So those little things crept in. But just seeing the signs and seeing the reaction, all of it was so incredible. I mean, whatever my panic attacks were, it was worth it to experience that kind of love from the fans and the audience. And, you know, there were some people who were sitting down, and I kind of wanted to get a handheld mic and walk over to them and go, what are you doing? Get the fuck up. You know,
what are you doing?
Because that's how I used to do that at the live events. Whenever if there were people were sitting down, you better get the fuck up. You know, so the Outlaw's coming through. But you know, I was like, you know, I'm an old man now. Let me just finish this whole thing out. So, but and being able to do it with Dan, I mean, I didn't want him to lose in that tournament, you know, and it was an upset to lose. Janine beating him was a big shock, you know, and so, but it worked out for me to play him, and he was very gracious to want to do it, and we shared a couple of phone calls to kind of clarify how we were going to approach this. And Dan was very kind to, like, you know, I'm not going to take center stage. Absolutely. Let him have the entrance, whatever. Dan was very gracious. And then being on stage with him, us, you know, busting back and forth and playing an old school style game with nobody knowing what the wheel slices were. I think all of that played really well.
Which were very hard, by the way.
Yeah, they were. PJ, you son of a bitch. I thought
he watches the show. Go after him.
I thought it was going to be like 10 80s categories and the rest Tom Cruise. I thought it was going to be so simple. And it's like bone deep Audrey Hepburn. What? So I don't know. But you know, we're two of the best that ever did it. So going at it and having those kind of categories on the wheel, we certainly can't complain about it. So, and it was just a lot of, and I love PJ to pieces. It was a lot of fun to be there and to experience it for sure. But I do want to say one thing. If PJ is watching, I hope to God, if we're not having any more Bryan Singer, Kevin Spacey, Harvey Weinstein questions, I don't want any more questions about racist characters in movies. That Mickey Rooney question really bothered me, and that has to stop. I almost stopped the match, to be honest with you. It's like, this needs to not be in the Schmoedown ever, okay? There are plenty of questions you can ask from that movie that have nothing to do with that racist caricature. And it was ironic that a Bruce Lee question was at the end of the game, because in the movie Dragon, Bruce Lee, they showcase how embarrassing that character is for him to see as an Asian man in the theater. And so I want to make clear that I hope going forward that the question writers and Christian Harloff and Mark Ellis and any of the producers look at these documents and remove any questions about racist caricatures in movies. I mean, Dan said it, Song of the South, the fact that he got asked about that is ridiculous. And I'm making a stand here, and I'm being serious, so I hope they listen. The question writers are predominantly white, so be aware of this. The producers are predominantly white. The owners are predominantly white, so be aware of this. Please pay more attention. I'm not bitching you out. I'm saying pay more attention. So in the future, we don't experience this kind of stuff. Yeah.
And that's definitely a good thing to bring, because they've definitely been doing better with
they have
questions and the slices. Definitely more inclusive. But yeah, for sure, I agree with you 100% on that sentiment. Definitely, I'm sure they'll be much more focused on.
I hope so. But that was the only moment, other than everything else was fantastic and so much fun, and having Jen there was great. And you know, she broke me with putting the hat down. God damn, I didn't even know I did it. You
did.
And when she called it out, I was like, oh my God, I didn't even know I did that. And then having Emma there, I wish Emma and I had an old school interview. I wish Emma and I had an old school back and forth one more time. That would have been nice. But you know, we were in a rush. We had to get to the next match. We had a certain amount of time. So there's only so much you can do. But overall, phenomenal experience. Mance, Notes, everybody showing up. It was very humbling and overwhelming.
It was great. And I agree with Brian that I think for me, that was just such a fun match to watch. Because like you said, it felt like an old school Schmoedown match.
It wasn't early.
Like it wasn't super serious. You guys were just having a freaking grand old time. Like,
we were
answering questions, like bickering back and forth with each other, just like pushing each other's buttons. It was just so fun to watch, because I was going, like, I was telling the guys, I was like, I'm having so much fun watching these two just having fun. Like it was
well, it looks like it looked like essentially you guys were still the founding fathers and you guys were just playing a singles match against each other.
Yeah.
Like that's what it felt like, because you guys had that brother camaraderie on stage together. But there is a question that comes from one of your patrons here. How much did we bet that you were going to cry?
They bet a lot of money that I was going to cry. I didn't think I was going to cry, to be honest with you. I was like, I'm comfortable with my decision. This feels right with every fiber of my being. It's no big deal. Everyone thinks I cry. I'm not going to pull a Kalinowski. I love it. And I'm not going to cry. But I cried more than I ever cried on any Schmoedown stage. And I didn't anticipate that. I didn't anticipate those emotions coming over me. And I'm sure part of that was from the panic attacks shaking my emotions up a little bit, but just the overwhelming love and walking away from it, it was a lot, and it broke me. And I meant what I said. When I was a bullied kid up until I was 14 years old, fat kid with bowler haircut, a son of immigrants, and was made fun of all the time. I never thought I'd achieve a place where people would chant my name, for God's sakes, and say such incredible things and be there for me. It was very overwhelming and humbling. And it just, I think that's what got me in that moment, just feeling that love again, because it had been so long since we've done a live event and hearing that. So yeah. But
your name will be heard throughout the rafters for many, many years.
Yeah. Yep.
We're definitely crying upstairs in the balcony.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Really?
God.
Up in the balcony too. Yeah.
See, I don't know that. I didn't hear any of that. I didn't know.
I mean, everyone had some kind of waterworks going on, but for me personally, like they said, I've been watching since season 1.
Yeah.
Like I've been able to see it all develop, and not just the league, but you and what you've gone through in it. And so it was definitely a lot seeing that you were officially done from playing, moving on, because like you've said, you've built this league.
Yeah.
Like you have had such a big impact on everything that's going on now in Schmoedown. Yeah. And it's hard to see that, just like my favorite ball player moving on, right? Like it's just hard to see that person move on when you've watched them for all this time.
Yeah.
So
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to leave when I could no longer do it. Like, I think that was a part of me too. Like Christian and I had really long conversations because he didn't want me to go. He said it over. Are you sure, champ? Are you sure? And I'm like, yeah, bro, I don't want to end up like Willie Mays or like Jordan on the Wizards, still kind of occasionally having one good game, but then everyone else is beating me and dunking on me and having fun with that. And it's like, I don't want to end up like that. So maybe I'll be like the Undertaker, where like every spectacular I take on somebody is a fun exhibition event.
One match.
Yeah, one match.
Absolutely.
That would be fun.
That would be cool.
If he'd do it, that would be. I'd love to play Kirk Wolf or Rachel Cushing or Sam again. I mean, that would be so much fun, but it would all depend on if people want it, if Christian wants it, if the players want to play.
Did you say if the people want it?
I mean, it would just all depend.
I think that's a pretty obvious answer, but I mean,
if you want any practice, you're more than welcome on any of our reactions.
I mean,
would you guys play each other? What do you mean? Do you guys play?
We play along.
We react to all the matches and we play each other.
I might do that. That might be kind of fun to keep me a little sharp. I'm down with that. Sure.
You should.
Let me know.
We should start requesting a Western exhibition just so you could throw down and make sure assert your dominance. So, in fact, PJ and a few of us were talking up in the balcony. We're like, damn, we should have only asked questions Rocha missed throughout the years he played. And that was the only questions we ever ask him, and see which ones he remembers.
I don't. I tell you what, they were good first round questions. I should have gotten a couple of. I mean, like the 2019 one, I just was so gone, man. And then the 2001, I heard Caviezel. I'm like, oh yeah, Caviezel, yeah, that's a Thin Red Line, no problem. But I'm never good at movie release dates, so I just couldn't even triangulate that whole thing. They were good questions. The Logan question, oh man, I had it when I hit the buzzer, and then when Ellis called me because I thought Dan was going to get it. Because he got those first two. When he called on me, I was like, I don't know. I totally forgot. And then, and they cost me the point. But Dan said, he's like, brother, I was working my way there. I was like, yeah, you probably would have got it. Anyway. But yeah, it was tough. So the questions were there that if I had maybe been a little more focused and a little less overwhelmed, I would have played a better match. Doesn't mean I would have won, but I might have played a little bit of a better match. So yeah.
At the end of the day, I don't think anyone cared. They just had such a good time watching.
It was such a good time. Yeah, such a good time.
We do have a couple Streamlabs that have come through, and then I got a couple questions to finish us off here. First one comes from Adrian. He says, hi again. I want to say thank you for letting me in on the Outlaw Nation and Strong Style.
Respect.
Jillian, it's 2:45 a.m. here. I will stay up till dawn if I get to talk with John. Thanks for all you have done. Next one comes from Malcolm. And he says, John, if there was a guy called Jake who was pretty good at trivia but hesitant to join the league, what would you say to him to get him to consider joining? After his hypothetical wedding, of course. Much love, John.
I'd say stick your right hand into your pants. Do you have a couple of balls? Then put them on the line, for God's sakes, and get in the match.
Yeah,
Get in the thing, because so many people have crossed over, like Burt Lancaster in Field of Dreams. They've crossed over and had a second career playing in the Schmoedown. So you just never know. What's the worst that can happen? You lose. So what? Everybody's lost. Dan Merle has lost. I've lost. Everybody's lost. The Shire Wolves have lost. The Patriots have lost. Everybody loses. So why not just get in there and see what you can do? And you never know what can happen. And if you need a trainer, who knows? Maybe.
Hey, there
maybe.
you go.
Depends on if you're a smart ass that day or not.
Right. Get up, Jake. God damn it. Get up.
Let's go.
Next one comes from the Dutton Ranch, and I love that this question has been asked. Hi, POV and the Outlaw. Thank you for 7 epic seasons. With your love of Westerns, have you watched the #1 show on TV, Yellowstone, on Paramount with Costner, Luke Grimes, Kelly Riley, and Cole Hauser? If not, no BS. It's stellar on every level, and you and the missus will love it.
Here's what I'll tell you. I've watched the first 2 seasons of Yellowstone. I loved the first season. The second season started to become a CW show. And so for me, I kind of dropped off in the second season. Now, people tell me the third season was good. And then I have other people telling me this fourth season was kind of not as good. It got too melodramatic. This is the thing I worry about with Yellowstone is the melodrama of it gets to be too much for me. I love Costner, but every single time he gets away with all the crap he pulls and calls out everybody else for doing the same crap he does. So for me, I get concerned having a protagonist like that. So played off as a hero rather than someone who is being made to confront his shortcomings like Tony Soprano was all through The Sopranos. So that kind of so yeah, I like Yellowstone. The first season's great. Second season, maybe I'll come back to it, but I'm looking forward to 1883.
I was going to ask if you have watched it yet.
Not yet. That is out now. It's on Paramount Plus. So I will definitely be taking some time to watch it. I might even do some low-key reviews. I don't know if anybody will watch the reviews, but maybe I'll do some low-key
I'm sure there will be.
I keep up on it.
No one's doing it. Well, I mean, if they're looking for it.
There might be a reason why no one's doing it because it'll get 500 views.
I think it's good. I think Tim McGraw is an absolute great lead as well.
Well, that's what I'm looking for. That's what I want to see.
So.
Yeah. And I like Trace Adkins. I know he's not in the show, but I like these country singers that cross over.
I was going to say Tim McGraw, like the singer?
Tim McGraw and Faith Hill are the leads.
Yeah,
what?
Faith Hill.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
Yeah,
cool.
So I'm looking forward to it for sure.
All right, so two questions. One is our POV question that we have to ask you before you leave, but the next one I wanted to ask is any regrets? Any regrets from the time that you've had?
Like what? I mean, of course I regret losing matches.
No, maybe like maybe not taking a match or a decision that you made to team up or like just any specific regret.
Oh man, that is tough.
It's deep.
Yeah,
and there may not be one. I just wanted to ask.
It's a deep question.
I gotta do my job,
That's fair.
I don't know. I mean, I liked playing with Nost. I love that Dan and I put it together and won the title.
Anyone's butt you didn't get to kick that you really
Oh well sure. Snyder, of course. Oh, you know what? I'll say this and mean this. Even though I kind of think I was right a little bit, but maybe I should have been a little more understanding. I think the beef that I had with Bibiani is maybe one of the biggest regrets I have because we're now good friends and I love Bibbs to pieces and he's such a sweetheart. And even though he does have his moments, don't get me wrong, we're all human beings, but getting a chance to kind of repair that real life fractured relationship, meant a lot to me, and him being open to repair it with me also meant a lot to me. At the time when we were playing, I'm still trying to prove myself. I'm still trying to fight, and I love it so much. And you guys don't know, behind the scenes, some of the production people were constantly making fun of it and constantly putting it down and constantly making fun of those of us who were really into it for their pleasure. They got a kick out of it. They're almost bullying us for enjoying it so much. It's just trivia. What's the big deal? Blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, it was bringing in views and paying your salary, but whatever. And so for me, that was the thing. So I felt like almost like I had to defend this game to a physical fight, And so when Bibbs came in, and Bibbs at times, his behavior, which I didn't understand at the time, but at the time he was just laughing at some of the questions or being a certain way. And, and so I took that personally. And so that created a division between us, which I allowed to fester. And Bibbs didn't want to, was weird about trying to repair it because he didn't know how to repair it. And then eventually, you know, we kind of had our wars, and then we had our battles. And then it was after I beat him that I like kind of took a new look at things. And then eventually we were able to repair it. And, you know, he's been great coming on my shows. He's been great I want to do reviews with him on my channel, do more reviews with him. And I've pitched him starting a show with me on the channel. So I don't know what that would look like because he's busy, I'm busy, but I would love to do that. So I think that's my biggest regret, is allowing my own personal animus and oversensitive defense of the game to ruin a friendship, a potential friendship with someone in the game for a few years. But I'm also grateful that we were able to repair it and put it back together. You know, some people deserve my animus in this game because of their actions and their bullshit actions behind the scenes. Mm-hmm. Some people don't. Bibbs did not. And for that, I do have a regret, but we repaired it. So whatever regret I have, it's weighed or balanced out by the fact that we repaired it and we're good friends now. So yeah.
Good.
I love that answer.
Yeah.
I love that answer.
Yeah. I love that.
So
Brian, quickly, you got one, right?
Yeah. One last question. Important. I know, obviously, you are a big champion of representation in the Schmoedown. How do you feel where it's going currently, where we have at least, we're getting categories that should be in there. We are getting more players that should be in there. I mean, we have a female 2-time person of color singles champion.
Yep.
How are you feeling the steps going towards that?
I think the steps are really great in terms of the players. I think Christian has always been about bringing in the best players. I think he's made it very aware to people that he wants to bring in more women, that he hears the complaints about that and wanted to bring in more women. And I want to make it clear, because I want to defend my brother here. Christian Harloff has gone out to many, many women in our sphere, but the women have not wanted to put themselves into the cauldron of the Schmoedown because it can be a lot. And women in our sphere deal with a lot of shit already. Opening yourself up to another level of toxicity or fandom that's going to criticize you, especially when they've seen the experiences of all the other female players over the seasons. It can be a lot to kind of take on. I think this new generation of women that are coming in understand the game and understand that that's part of the game, and they're more suited to deal with it. I mean, stuff like what Jeffrey Wade pulled, fuck that. But like what we're talking about is like, you know, the fans coming at them. I think they're more prepared to deal with that kind of stuff. And I appreciate that. So on the player side of things, and Christian going out to people of color, I think that's always been there, you know, and I'm very proud for all the shit we took. I'm very proud of the Finstock Exchange having Asian players, gay players, Latino players, women. We had it. We covered it. Did we have enough women? Understood that was a complaint. Trust me, we tried to draft some ladies, but they got picked before we were going to get to them. And so we had to draft for who we thought was best at the time in that slot. So unfortunately, that's how, I mean, we had Peggy as our second pick and it just didn't work out, or second or third pick. It just didn't work out. So those are those things that we had to adapt. So I understood the criticism. I thought it was unfair, but I understood it. Mm-hmm. And so for that, I get it, but I think there are more people coming to the player. Now, when it comes to, and you asked me the question, so you open the door. When it comes to the behind the scenes stuff, as I said, a predominantly white question writing team ain't going to work. A predominantly white production team ain't going to work. A predominantly white people in charge of the Schmoedown ain't going to fucking work. And so for me, I won't think there's full change until we see people of color involved in the direction of the game, involved in the production of the game, involved in being aware of things more and more. And I would like to see that because, look, I mean, who produces FCL? PLD, that's a white guy. Who produces Schmoedown? That's a white person. It's Ellis and Harloff and whoever else is there. And now you have Thad coming in as a white production coordinator. These are the things that you have to be aware of. And I think sometimes white people don't see it, but people of color see it. And some of the shit we went through last year, and I had to sit down with Mark Ellis where I told him, yo, man, this needs to fucking change. because people of color players had conversations about certain things. Like when that, now I'm going to speak about it now. When that bullshit that happened where I was being accused of cheating by that idiot that runs that fucking after show, encouraged by the player he's a general of, a patron of, that player went behind the scenes and accused me of that and didn't even think about the fact that him and his manager were accusing 2 Latino players, the only Latino team in the tag team tournament, of doing these kinds of things. It was a bad fucking look. And so going after Chandru when it's almost all white people going after Chandru, that's a bad fucking look. I know he maybe overstepped the lines, but going after, you've got to be aware of it. And white people who are supposedly allies need to wake the fuck up and think about their actions towards players of colors, towards women, especially if it's all dudes going after a woman. They got to think about that as well. So I would like to encourage that to be something that the Schmoedown focuses on going forward, that people of color go into prominent positions of power in the game. Our producers, I know Dwayne is also another producer on FCL, but it's PLD who's the main one there, from what I understand. So there needs, and plus the people who call the games. Yes, you have Steph, but it's Gilmore who's white. It's Christian who's white. That needs to change. So I hope down the road that's something that happens, because if I don't see it happen, guess who's going to start his own league and do it? And I've done that. And I did that when I left Collider, or when they let me go, rather. I didn't leave. When they let me go, I made it very clear on my channel that those things they didn't have, which were people of color and women hosting their shows other than Perry, I wanted to have more of that representation on my channel. And I made sure of it, from Alex Shawshak, who's Asian, to Darina, who's Latino, to Wendy Lee, who's hosting now with me, who's Asian. Like, I wanted to make sure Jay and Winston as black guys on Game Time with me. JTE was on Game Time for a bit as a Latino. So those are the things that I really wanted to make happen in my own small way on my channel. So if I don't see it happen in the Schmoedown, you goddamn better believe that I'm going to do it myself and start a whole new league and bring in people of color, bring in more representation from top to bottom, so that we can make a whole new league or a whole new championship that could be fun. It's not a threat. I'm just saying. And Christian knows, we bros. He knows I'm coming from my place, and he respects that.
Oh,
I mean, I believe it.
That's my 2 cents.
Yeah. No, hey, that's the good 2 cents. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
But hold on. See, bring up that Brian news. Daniel, a commentator who's African American, called a match. How long ago, Brian?
That was a long time ago.
White guy. How long ago was that news?
That was a long
white guy.
time ago.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
She needs to come back though, because I
adored
her. I adored her at the desk. I thought she was fantastic.
Yeah. That's the kind of ignorance that you got to kind of get past, because we had a black guy a while ago, so we're not racist.
That one time 4 years ago. It's
stupid. Those are the things that need to change step by step for the game to go to another level and attract even more people to be a part of it. And we'll see. I mean, we'll see down the road what happens. But I know Harloff listens, and I know his heart's in the right place, and I know he wants to do better and wants to do best. So I anticipate that will be a goal going forward in the game.
I think so, and I agree 100% with your sentiment completely.
Also, real quick before we head out here and let John go for joining us, I did want to ask our POV question here that I don't think we've ever asked you before.
No, because every time he's came in, he just starts yelling at us. So I don't think we got time.
That's fair. That is true.
And usually in your car. Usually in your car.
If they are different, what is your go-to movie snack and your favorite candy?
Ooh, shoot.
A real deep question from POV, I know.
I also feel like Lady Outlaw is going to be completely different from yours, too.
Oh, yeah. She's lactose intolerant, so she
okay.
I
just meant like chocolate versus a sour candy.
No. You can't even do that.
No.
No, for me, I got to cheat on this one, because my favorite cinema treats are the Wetzel pretzel bites. Because down at the Grove, I would always bring a vest, even on a summer's day, and I would stick the bites in the pocket, zip up the pocket so they can't ask any questions, and buy a Coke from the theater. So I'm respecting the theater and them, having us there. And then the one down here in San Diego where I go to a lot of my screenings, there's a Wetzel's literally 20 feet from the door of the theater. So I get there a little bit early, pack the vest, go in there. I make sure I don't eat too much that day because bread now at my age, it puts belly on you. So and that's my favorite snack to have in a movie with cheese, of course.
It's like Napoleon. You're Napoleon dynamiting these little things, like these little bites in your pocket. Like, dude, can I have some tots? Like, can I have a pretzel bite?
What do you need? What do you need? I got it all. What do you need?
I got it in my pocket real quick.
To be fair, though, I was gonna say it's nothing beats Coy. He sneaks artichokes in.
Oh, yeah. Of course he does. Of course he does. Yo, bro, I got my artichokes, bro. But he got COVID, didn't he? Yeah, well, that worked out. Coy. No, I love him. He's in great shape. I wish I looked like Coy.
Don't we all?
We all wish we looked like Coy.
But no, my favorite candy is Reese's Pieces. That can't be beat. That can't be.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I've never heard anyone say that before.
Really? Oh, God.
Yeah.
That's one of our patron tiers is Reese's Pieces.
Oh, is it really? Oh,
it is.
Yeah.
I mean, almond M&Ms are a very, very, very close second because I love almond things. But the Reese's Pieces, I mean, Costco used to sell them here and they stopped selling them and I was mad, man. That was my go-to, just a handful there in the middle of the day. I don't need a lot, just a handful, and I'm good, But
I feel like mixing that with popcorn would be good.
Ooh.
A nice Reese's Pieces with popcorn.
Oh, yeah. If you get a fresh batch of popcorn, you put in some Nestle Crunch. That's the way to go. Let it melt into the popcorn. That's the way to go. Trust
Interesting.
Me. Trust me.
Now I'm hungry.
Well, John, it's been an absolute pleasure. I can't thank you enough for joining us and spending some time with us. It's been an incredible 7 seasons that you've put into this league, and I don't know if we would be possible without what you've done for this league and the time you've put in. It's been absolutely just great to have you aboard and watch you compete the last 7 years. So just big fat thank you for everything that you've done. Really, we appreciate it.
Look, it's been my honor, and it was the joy of my life to be able to do this. And Christian Harloff said it to me way back in season 2 or season 3. I guess season 2. He said, "If you play this right, and you win, I guarantee you it's going to change your life." And it wasn't wrong. It wasn't wrong. I picked up so many. I'm of course being on Collider and other things, but like the Schmoedown is where a lot of people came to find me, and so that was a joy. It was an honor, and the game gave me more than I gave it, if I could possibly say that, or at least we're a tie. And I appreciate that because I gave so much of myself before we were even paid a dime. I've sacrificed so many hours of blood, sweat, and tears and worry and concern and studying so I could win, but so we could also put on a great show. And I know there are other people who did that as well, and they deserve credit for building our game as much as not as much as I do, but certainly they deserve some credit for building the game up.
You just had to throw that in.
I can only be humble to a point, but no, I appreciate it. Yeah, there's a cutoff. But it's been my honor, and I hope people still want to hear from me and head on over to my channel, and I'm still doing my thing on my channel and still.
Plug away, please.
Please. Yes. It's called the Outlaw Nation. It's there on YouTube. Just type in my name and the Outlaw Nation, or you go to youtube.com/John Rocha Says and go up there, and you'll see all the stuff I do: reviews, trailer reactions, pre-produced videos, live shows, shows with pro wrestling, sports, film, TV. We cover it all there. We might do a January 6th show and bring Impolite Truths back. We shall see for one night only. We shall see.
What a perfect date.
Yeah, that's on the fence, right? So it's going to be negotiated. We'll see if we can make it happen. But yeah, I mean, it's so much we cover there, and it is a reflection of who I am as a person. So if you want to come and enjoy more of what I do, there's where you go. I've also got my podcast, The Top 10, The Cinephiles, and The Geek Buddies. They're out there for people to enjoy. And you can follow me on Twitch. That's right. The old man's on Twitch, The Outlaw Nation, all one word on Twitch. I'm definitely in 2022 going to be doing a lot more content on Twitch, not just the John and Wendy show on Fridays, which we do live at 3 p.m. PT there on Twitch, but also more of watch-alongs. I might even start doing the Outlaw Cinema School, which is something I was thinking about doing, where I just kind of talk about a film or teach a film for like half an hour, 45 minutes. So these are little things, and of course, play games and whatever and all of that.
I will pay money to see you play Red Dead Redemption on Twitch.
Oh yeah, I've got it. I've got to jump into it. I've got
Perfect.
it.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Definitely. So, but yeah, thanks for having me on, and congratulations, you guys. You know, in such a short time, you guys have blown up as a podcast and as an after show for Schmoedown, and people have come to respect and appreciate all the things you do, which is why I'm very grateful that you had me on to have this conversation. So thank you all very much.
And congratulations to the Ultimate Schmoedown show as well.
Yes,
Their nomination as well.
Yes.
That's
Sorry.
awesome.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes. I didn't know. Yes, absolutely. On Saturdays, they were so incredible to get nominated. Yeah, absolutely. Much love to them for sure.
Your second favorite show, because
yes.
We have that on record.
That's true. I'm like a Steven Spielberg executive producer. Like, they do all the work. They just put my name on it. And I'm like, all right, sure.
Well, right as we send you out, the perfect comment to send you out of here is thank you, Rocha, for everything you gave to the game, and will always be one of my favorites to watch. So
thank you.
Thank you, John. Again, have a great
John.
night. And
come back and yell at us whenever you want.
Come back, yell at us. I'm looking forward to Western Wednesdays.
Yeah. I'll make it happen. Thank you all so much. Much love, and take care of yourselves. Be well. And thanks for letting me entertain you guys for 7 seasons. It meant the world to me. Thank you for having me on.
Thank you, John. Have a good night.
Thank you so much, John.
Bye.
Thank you. What a treat.
That was a blast.
It was nice. It was nice to finally talk to John and not the Outlaw.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. Today I've been a little nervous, thinking he was gonna like come for me like at any random point.
Well, he put on Twitter he was like 3 of the 4, and I'm
it's 100% you.
No, it's definitely you.
Me?
It's definitely you.
I thought it was me.
What did I do?
Definitely, Brett, because you always give him shit whenever we talk about Rocha.
I thought maybe Jake like didn't pick him or something.
No, it's a hundo, Brian.
I picked him in the 4th round of the fantasy draft. Remember?
Yeah, but it was, trust me, it was a hundo, Brian.
Well, everyone behind the scenes, everyone was like, pick Rocha 4th round, pick Rocha 4th round.
Well, because we're all assholes at the end.
Yeah. 100%. No, look, honestly, that might have been one of the best times I had interviewing someone, and
that was a lot of fun.
I know he put it on Twitter, but he was really unfiltered, and he gave his true, honest opinions, and that's all we can really ask for.
Yeah, he should be unfiltered.
Yeah, that's all we can really ask for.
There's no filtering, Rocha. Even if we tried.
No,
for real.
He's the best.
All right. So we only have a little time left. I don't want to spend too long on this because we're actually going to make it like a full-blown show for the nominations and kind of make picks and really dive into these categories. But I want to cover these nominations that came out earlier today. To kick it off, we did get a Streamlabs about them. So I'll go and bring that up right now before we get to them. So this one comes from Tim Sim. Thank you so much, Tim, as always. Just want to say congrats to POV on back-to-back nominations and the 4 nominated after shows for the Schmoedown Media Award. Though bummed to not make the nominations, I'm happy to be part of this tight-knit community and look forward to more in Season 9. We do as well. Wait, I think it was Jake. What does that mean? What does that mean?
The Rocha thing.
Him coming for someone. It was you.
Okay. I thought it was me too. But
I'm not gonna lie. There was a part of me that was like, oh, he's gonna blow me up when he comes up.
I'm kind of surprised he didn't, to be honest.
Oh God.
If he was supposed to come for me, I kind of bummed he didn't come for me. Right?
I'm not, because he comes for you.
Destroy me.
That would have been fun. All right, let me go ahead and bring up these nominations, and we'll cover these real quick before we kind of dive into them later on. All right, so here, and I'll just go by the order they're placed in the actual email. So we'll start off with category 1, which is Player of the Year. So we have 5 nominations for this one. That is Marisol McKee, Griffin Newman, Mike Kalinowski, Ethan Irwin, and Thomas Harper. Interesting fact here. Griffin Newman, obviously, because there's only 4 titles, the only one without a title to be nominated in this one.
Well, he went to 2 championship matches.
He went to 2 championship matches. It was undefeated to that point. So that makes sense.
If he wasn't nominated, that would be weird.
It kind of makes sense that 3 of the current title holders are there. You can't really nominate a team. And Ethan Irwin halfway through the year was like Player of the Year for what he was doing.
Yeah.
So it does make sense. And obviously Griffin being undefeated till spectacular. Boom. I think it's a solid 5.
I was just about to say that's a
really good 5.
Yeah.
We'll give our picks for the show. We do it, but that's a very solid.
Yeah. We're gonna go into like full detail probably next week, I would say, on the nominations. Next one would be Singles Player of the Year.
Good night, Adrian. Go to bed.
Thank you, Adrian.
Thanks, man.
Get some friend.
Get some sleep. Singles Player of the Year. Dan Murrell, Griffin Newman, Marisol McKee, Ethan Herman, and Janine the Machine.
Hell yeah, Janine's
I love that she got in there.
I love that she's
yes.
there. I love that she's there. She wrecked shop in that singles tournament, so I'm really glad she's there.
I agree, and I know I actually saw quite a bit of people online, like in the group and on Twitter, saying that they were surprised someone like Chance didn't make it. But I agree with Janine getting in over Chance.
I am surprised Chance didn't make it, but Janine, Janine deserves to be up there.
IG Player of the Year. I think it's no surprise here. We have Mara Konopik, Mike Kalinowski, Robert Parker, Amaru Moses, and Chandru Dandapani. That's just a good one.
Not surprised by those 5. Surprised Saul isn't in there.
That's a good point.
I think
surprised Saul's not there, but who would he replace?
Well, and the 5 that are in there all played in title matches at one point.
Yeah. So and that's the thing. It's like I'm surprised Saul's not there, but I don't know who you would replace him with.
See, I wouldn't agree with this.
I don't agree with that.
Chandru almost beat Mara, and then almost beat Mike. So
yeah,
I mean, I didn't even think about it until you guys said it. The fact that they were all championship matches, and so I mean, how can you not?
While I think it's a very easy pick, it's a solid 5, and they all make sense.
Yeah, I agree.
And
I concur.
This is probably going to be one of the most debated, which is already been debated.
I don't want anything to do with this category.
Star Wars Player of the Year. We have Thomas Harper, our current champion, Andrew DiMolanta, Nikki DiMolanta, Gold Leader, and Laura Kelly. I think it's a 2-headed race, and it clearly has all been over social media. Yeah. But that one's probably going to be one of the most debated and talked about over the next couple weeks.
I would even argue a 3-headed race.
Yeah.
I would see. I'm guessing you're saying the third is Nikki.
Who are you saying I was putting Nikki as one of the 2. Who are you saying is the 3rd?
I said I think it's a top 2.
He's saying Andrew.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because you have to remember, all of Andrew's stuff happened this year.
Yeah,
time is a construct.
That's what I'm saying, and it's hard to think of because he was like basically like the first half of the year.
That was the first half. He was because I was thinking Gold Leader, Thomas, and Nikki. But time is a construct, and I forgot that Andrew dominated at the beginning of the season.
He beat Alex, and then he defended twice.
It feels like it was last season, but it was just the beginning of this season.
I honestly, and I think Nikki, I think she could easily be in this category, but I think it's a 2-headed race between DiMolanta and Harper, no question. Andrew DiMolanta, sorry, Andrew DiMolanta.
yeah, because Andrew absolutely dominated the beginning of the season. I don't want to touch that category with a 10-foot pole.
Well, we're touching it next week, everybody. So, team, I think this is a great category, but I also think it's pretty obvious. Team of the Year: Corruption, Lightning Time, King Arthur, Shazam, and Danger Zone.
I mean that for me, there's only one.
I think it's like a landslide.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it a landslide. I would not call it a landslide because there's a lot of loyal people to other.
There are, but in reality, it should be.
In reality, it should be a landslide. Yeah, it should be. But you never know what could happen. Never know.
Next one will be a very interesting category: Manager of the Year. Coy Jandreau, Bobby Gucci, Sam Levine, Kaiser, and Shannon Barney.
Still mad Craig wasn't nominated.
That's true. I agree.
Craig should have been in there.
This one's going to be very. I think it's probably between 2, but that's going to be a very interesting category.
That's a very interesting category.
I just want Kaiser's name to be Kaiser ... question mark or Kaiser.
Kaiser.
Next one is a great category with a lot of good names. Comeback Player of the Year: Janine the Machine, JTE, Andrew DiMolanta, Mark Tropic, and David Del Rio.
I love that Del Rio is in there too.
Same.
I think Del Rio is great. I don't think he's gonna win it. No, but I think he is. I think having him in there is great. I think that I totally agree with these nominations 100%.
Yeah, it's a great category. It's probably one of the most like even categories.
Yeah.
I see a lot of swings. There's a lot of people going with the pick. I'm sure that we're all gonna make.
I agree.
But we'll leave that for next week. Okay. Moment of the year.
Jake, you skipped rookie.
This is also a lock.
Oh, I did skip rookie. My bad. Rookie of the year. Sorry, I'll go backtrack. Griffin Newman, Thomas Harper, Nikki DiMolanta, Amaru Moses, and Josh Horowitz.
This is another one where people are just going at each other.
Keep me out of this one.
Yeah, this is another I don't want to touch with a 10-foot pole. I don't want people to come after me.
I know.
I mean, one person you can vote for because of the amount of matches he played in 2 different divisions.
Paige, hold on. Paige isn't nominated.
No, I personally think Paige should probably be nominated over Josh Horowitz, but that's just my opinion.
I 100% agree with that.
That's just I do think Amaru should definitely be there, but I think that Paige should probably be over Horowitz, but that's just how the voting went. That's just how the voting went.
Why?
See, Tim, I think that you are not miscounting, but not judging correctly the Nikki DiMolanta fans out there.
Yeah, the Nikki fans, you're strong.
She could easily sneak this category. All right. Moment.
Performance doesn't always mean loyalty to your favorite fan, player, whatever you want to.
You have to think of the fandom as well.
Yeah.
See how that's gonna go.
All right. Moment of the year. Kevin Smets at returning at Spectacular 6.
That's a lock. I'm sorry.
I think it is as well. You know what's funny about this? So when this, and let me just read the 5 first, actually. McKee wins title, first woman to win singles championship. Andrew DiMolanta versus Alex Damon won 51-50 score in sudden death. Canopic returns, wins title. Wild Berries unite at Spectacular 6. Brian, I know what you're going to say, Brian, but 51-50 has no chance.
No, not against Smets.
It has
There's
no
way.
I think the 2 that people will vote for are Marisol and Kevin Smets.
Yeah.
I mean, my
heart
wants Wild Berries because that part was hilarious. No, I'm kidding, but
that was great. So because I was watching the live chat with like the replay on that, and people said they would have voted Wild Berries as moment of the year had Smets not made his return at the end of the night. Like.
If you don't vote for Smets, what are you doing?
Where were you? Where were you?
I'm sorry. Like that.
There was not a. I'm surprised that they didn't nominate Rocha's retirement speech as a nomination.
That's a great call.
I think that should have also been.
I think just because he gets the Yodi, they probably just.
Yeah, that's fair.
Still, I think he probably should have been voted for. Okay,
Ryan, I 100% agree with you. That post match should have been nominated as well. The Marisol Janine post match should have been.
That's a great call.
Should have been nominated too.
That was a great moment.
That was a great moment.
Good call.
I agree.
Speaking of upset of the year, Janine defeats Dan Murrell. Paige Forbetti defeats Ben Bateman. Andrew DiMolanta defeats Alex Damon. Nikki DiMolanta defeats Alex Damon. Poor Alex. And Press Room defeats Danger Zone.
Poor Alex. R.I.P.
That's another great category.
Ones.
Sucks to suck, Alex. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I mean, it does. Sucks to suck.
Oh, Alex, no. No, Alex.
Quick super chat here from Mr. Tim Sim. Thank you, as always, Tim. It's still a 2-horse race for Rookie of the Year between Nooms and Harper because Harper defeated Nikki for the Star Wars title.
Yeah, I think that's.
It could be, but people love who they love.
The fans, man. The fans, you have to, yeah.
They're definitely.
It is hard to vote against an undefeated rookie who has the belt. Like it really is.
It is.
I mean,
it's the Adam Collins effect, right?
Yeah.
All right, next one.
Your heart wants someone else sometimes. Just saying.
Next one, podcast of the year, Schmoedown Rundown, Beyond the Schmoedown, Schmoedown Backstage, Machine Mondays, and yours truly, A Certain Point of View.
What's up, Backstage?
No comment on that one. We'll stay on that one for now.
No comment on that.
Feud of the year, Murrell versus Rocha, Kalinowski versus Chundru, DiMolanta's plural versus Alex Damon, Bateman versus Fabretti.
That I made it plural.
It's plural.
I didn't even notice that.
It's plural.
I love that it's plural.
That's funny.
Bateman versus Fabretti and Gold Leader versus Harper, which Gold Leader versus Harper is actually a sneaky pick there.
Dude,
here's the thing with Gold Leader. The thing with Gold Leader and
how
Harper,
dare you, sir?
the thing with
I have a different pick for that one.
The thing with Gold Leader and Harper is you don't truly understand that feud unless you're on Twitter or Reddit.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you don't understand the feud at all.
It's been going on all year, and it even continued after the season was over. Like,
it's if you ever see Harper posting in Reddit, he's just bashing Gold Leader. Like, no matter what post he makes, he has to do some kind of jab at Gold Leader, and it is the best.
He literally, I'll never forget as long as I live, when we left that place, him yelling, "Gold Leader, I got you a car, except it's going to San Diego." Just like that, they don't stop.
Great.
I was kind of hoping that Gold Leader's mom versus Gold Leader was going to sneak in on this one, but
someone just commented that.
Yeah, Gold Leader's mom. Yeah, Gold Leader's mom.
Yeah, Jeremy.
Yeah,
that's what I was hoping for. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're not in the social media space, you don't understand the beauty that is the feud between Harper and Gold Leader. It is a treat. Let me tell you, it is a treat. Yeah.
Don't let him fool you. He designed 4 or 5 of them.
Don't let him fool you. A lot of them.
Thank you, Brian. All right, match of the year. There's 10 of these. So hold on one sec. Andrew DiMonta versus Alex Damon won the 51-50 match.
It's Alice Damon.
Whatever. Corruption versus Shazam, which was Collision. Kalinowski versus Parker, which was Spectacular. Kalinowski versus Chundru, which was the Cantina. Janine versus Marisol McKee. Harper versus Nikki DiMolanta, the championship match. Paul Walter Hauser versus Mike Kalinowski, the first round of the tournament. Dan Murrell versus Adam Collins 2, which I cannot believe was still this year.
That's crazy.
Crazy. Deception versus Blackjack, and Shazam versus Otter Couple, which was the Janine fill-in match.
Oh, that's a good. I forgot about Otter Couple.
These are
Otter Couple was matched because of the
Otter
reason
Couple was
why.
Great. Yeah. Otter Couple was really fun. But the thing with all of these nominees is you can argue every single one of these
easily.
Matches. You could easily argue any single one of these matches to win. Easily. Maybe not the Paul Walter Hauser one.
No, I think that's probably the outlier of all of them.
Yeah. That's
the
definitely
rest
the
of
outlier.
Them are like,
you could argue any of those.
Like, we could replace that with Molly versus Laura.
Yeah.
Molly versus Laura.
I'm probably
the first match of the season.
I'm probably going to have to like watch all of them to remind myself how great they are. Yeah.
I didn't say otter like a sea animal. I said otter.
I want a team called the Otter Couple. They have to hold hands the entire time because that's what otters do.
And they eat shellfish off their tummies.
Oh, great comment here by Ryan. So many snubs. Chundru versus Mar, Gold Leader versus Harper, Mar versus Mike, Chundru versus Parker, Lighting Time versus Final Exam.
There's a lot of many good matches this season.
And to this point, this is just how the Facebook polls came down to. I'm guessing they took the top voted polls,
top 10 on that one,
the top 10 of them. So that's just how it came.
Which I wish they didn't do it on Facebook because there's a lot of fans who don't use Facebook. I wish they did it some other medium.
Well, we could probably find a way to like do the calculations between Facebook, Twitter, and Patreon. Like, I know it takes a little bit more time, but you can do it technically.
You can do it. It's possible. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Ryan did. Hold on. Ryan did a comment earlier for Feud of the Year, the after shows versus Dossier. That would have been hilarious.
Fair.
That would have been great.
Or the great after show restaurant debacle, the great after show fast food restaurant debacle. That one was fun.
T2A? Yeah, Jesus.
Taco Bell guys, you got rid of Taco Bell in round 2. Come on.
That's why you're not nominated this year.
Faction of the year: Finstock Exchange, Corruption, Quirky Mercs, Usual Suspects, and the Dungeon. Probably the top 5 factions, I would imagine. It's probably going to be a 2-headed race. But again, it can go anyway. I would be a little surprised if the faction champs didn't win that one, though, because that's usually what happens. But
but there's a lot of exchange shills out there.
It's not even shills. They have a good enough case to.
I agree.
Just throw it. I mean, they literally came down to the last match.
And you can also argue that they got to the finals without winning a championship belt.
Yeah.
Like they won it based off of wins.
Yeah.
So
agreed.
Hashtag,
and again,
hashtag Craig for manager of the year.
Again,
Craig should have been nominated.
We will dissect it next week again and reveal our official picks for that. We have 3 left here. Heel of the year. We have Chundru. We have Rick Radis, Mike Kalinowski, Gold Leader, and Gucci.
All people you love.
Gucci. He wasn't even there half the season.
Gucci.
I think that's the point.
It should be Gucci's Tesla Wi-Fi. That's what it should be. That's the real heel.
Wi-Fi should have been nominated as a heel.
Well, we said that last year for Koi's Wi-Fi is what we said.
Koi's Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Koi's Wi-Fi.
And then Babyface of the year, Nikki DiMolanta, The Kid, Janine the Machine, Bibiani, and Beth May.
I love that Beth is in there.
So do I.
She's adorable.
I love that.
I believe Brennan has won this the last 2 years.
There's a reason they call him the
He's
Kid.
literally a baby
But
face.
I think he might be dethroned this year.
I do too.
He might. If this is the year, it's yeah. If he's gonna be dethroned, it's gonna be this year.
Yep.
And then the final category is the Schmoedown Media Award. So we have Let's Get Ready Network, Spin from the Reel, the Ultimate Schmoedown After Show, yours truly, A Certain Point of View, and Schmo Me the Money.
Show me the money.
I also love that Schmo Me the Money was nominated.
Agreed. I love what Buck and Jeff do over there. They're great.
I messaged Buck when I saw it. I was like, oh my god, congrats!
Yeah. And you guys did it in such short time. It was fantastic.
They just started this year, I think.
Yeah.
Rocking
There's
it.
a lot of great choices. Any of those 5 is a great pick.
Yeah, those are all and all of them are amazing people. All of them have great groups going on.
Mm-hmm.
It's solid nominees for this category.
And then finally, the award that is always announced ahead of time, the Yodi Award, goes to the Outlaw, Mr. John Rocha, for his retirement, which makes sense.
Of course.
Well deserved. Yeah. Any final thoughts on that before we wrap up, guys?
Have fun picking because there are some ones that
There's some that
I'm gonna roll chance dice too because I don't know. Gotta.
I know some of them you're just gonna have to do a number generator. Like, which one?
Yeah. Oh my God, Brian Ward, you stop it right now.
I'm not even gonna bring that comment up. Not even.
I miss that. We need to bring that show back.
Show me naughty.
That should just be a yearly thing.
We need to bring that show back. I'll tell
All
Sean.
right, so again, the way that you can vote on these awards, everyone, is becoming a Schmoedown Patreon member. That is whether you're a $2, $5, $20, whatever it may be. You, as soon as second you sign up, you get access to that awards survey, and you can vote for these actual awards. I believe Christian said they are open until Sunday, I think, from what I understand. So you have about 5 days or so to decide whether you're not going to do it. Again, you can sign up and then take that sign up away if you really wanted to. I know that sometimes money is tough for people, but if you wanted to actually take part in it, that's the way that you can do it. They are not public to everybody. It's just for Patreon members only. Okay, last question here before we wrap up. Thank you, Thero, for the super chat. When is happy hour with guest Molly Damon? Well, she's not the guest; she's the host. But we do have a set guest in mind. Not confirmed, but pretty much
we talked about it.
And then we are figuring out a date as we had a date, and then
we had a date, and then we didn't have a date, and then we still.
But it will happen this month, guys. It is literally January 3rd. Chill yourself.
We got like 20. We got like 27 days.
Chill yourself.
It'll happen. It'll happen.
And you are gonna love every second of who this guest is. We promise.
You're gonna have to remind me because I forgot.
We'll talk.
Well, Brian,
about
you
it.
weren't actually there, but that's okay.
Oh, that seems accurate.
We did it. We did it after the watch along.
Oh, that's right. You weren't there. I forgot.
All right. Before we head out of here, let's go into a little plugs before we wrap up. Brian, why don't you kick us off?
Leave me alone. No, I'm kidding.
All right, Jill, what do you got?
Screw you.
Apocalypse movies. Tomorrow's is.
What are we doing, Jake?
Wait, no, I know what it is. Hold on.
It is.
It's the most anticipated movies for 2022. I'm sure there will be some hot takes. And
Stop
then
it, Curtis. Stop it.
and then you've all seen it on Twitter. I guess.
Oh wait, I got the joke by Farrell. I got the joke by Farrell. I get it, Ryan. Thank you for.
Yeah, I know. That's why. That's why I was. Okay. You didn't get that?
I know. I get it, but I forgot.
Oh, I understood it right away. I was like.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I went right over my head. Sorry.
Thank you, Jeremy.
Thank you.
Jill, what about you?
Jilly Marie, Twitter and Instagram, 2 Y's, 2 E's. You can also sometimes catch me over on SEN. I'm on there on occasion. And make sure to check out Sean Sullivan's Twitch, because sometimes I pop in there and I do his makeup. I gave him a scar. I gave him a scar the other night. I believe it's twitch.com/Sean Sully.
He's trying to become the actual Witcher.
He has the wig, and I was like, "You have a wig, but you don't have the scar." So I went in there and I gave him the scar. And so,
I think it's pretty solid. Not gonna lie.
That's what I told him. It's a really good wig. It's just tiny for his head, but it's a good.
We'll make sure she gets the message, Ryan. We'll make sure she gets the message.
Yeah.
Brian, you are absolutely correct. Bar trivia was a blast.
That was probably one of my favorite bar trivias.
And if you want to join the bar trivia nonsense, head over to that Patreon, everybody. We're having a blast. It's just so much fun. Reactions, bar trivia, watch-alongs.
A lot of guests were on the last one.
Yeah, we had a lot of people last time, which is a blast. And it was Dustbomb's very first time. So thank you for that. And just to answer quickly, Gordon, we won't be doing it here, but I will be on my own channel. And I'm sure you'll see this guy.
Excuse me.
You didn't even let me finish.
He gets to plug.
I'm kidding. I haven't even watched past the first episode.
So, well, if Brian's done in time, you'll see him. But you'll probably see the likes of PJ Campbell, Sean Sullivan, and a couple of my own buddies who have watched it as well. You can check that out. We did a review of season 3 last year, and we're going to make that a recurring thing every year for each season. So check that out over there. At Qui-Gon Jake for myself, 2 N's because someone else took it before I did. Schmoedown POV on Twitter. That Patreon link. The schedule for this month's stuff will be coming out very, very soon. And Raiko, to answer your question, we don't know what we're doing this month yet.
Wow.
We don't have an exact
like a week before.
But we
talked about Disney.
I'm kidding. I was kidding.
We did talk. Disney was thrown around, but
Disney could be a lot for me. I might need a little while.
But Disney, that would be something we would need to like.
I'm gonna start hyperventilating. Have to write questions about like 30 movies. So.
And if I write the questions, they're all just gonna be 5-pointers because I don't know the difference between a 2 and a 5. So, but
we will figure out one soon. If you guys have any recommendations, feel free to
the hot chick bar trivia.
Feel free to let us know in the Discord or leave a comment. As always, there will be a poll up for the watch along as well. And yeah, so that is our first show of 2022. Everybody, we hope you had an absolute blast. Big shout out and thank you to John the Outlaw Rocha. That was so much fun to talk to him. We can't wait to have him back in the near future. So for Molly, Brian, Jill, and myself, thank you guys as always. View crew, have yourselves a great week, and we'll catch you guys next time. Bye, guys.
Bye.